Okay, hello guys, I welcome you to my channel Infotronics PTE, and I'm doing some of the videos regarding the programming and the coding, as our channel is all about programming, coding, improving on each video. You can recommend, suggest on the comment in the comment section about the verbose normally actually delivered on the concepts in each video, and obviously we're going to follow on those lines as well. So in this video we're going to actually get an understanding of a concept normally used in actually programming, which is md5, okay, which is the acronym for message digest 5, and we use in Python, and it is primarily used for the verification and authentication of stored data through cryptographic hashes. So how are we going to program the small program with the help of which obviously we can verify and authenticate, and where normally we use such hashes, and where is md5 or where is md5sum is normally used, and how we can actually help ourselves through different programs, whether we apply in games, whether we apply in actually in corporate or legal sector. How are we going to apply and verify this program, especially for the databases? Normally it is for the data, store data, so it is for the databases as well, so you can say it is just a continuation of the previous videos as well. So what normally, just to give you a brief insight, okay, about the cryptographic hashes we normally use in day-to-day life, and for example in the digital signatures and message authentication codes, manipulation detection, fingerprints, checksums, which is also known as the message integrity check, in use in hash tables, password storage, and much more. And they are also used in sending messages over network for security and storing messages in databases. As I said, it's all about security, it's all about storing messages, so it's about databases as well. So there are many hash functions normally defined in the hashlib library in Python, and you can have the hashlib library import, you can get all the hashes or you can get all the functions defined in the hashlib library, and obviously md5, which is the message digest 5 hash, is also used in the Python. And this md5 hash is normally the hash function accepts which is a sequence of bytes and returns 128-bit hash value, usually used to check data integrity but has security issues. This md5 has security issues, that is why it has now been replaced by md5sum. And how it is being used, because it is used for the integrity of the data, the security of the data, and also the authentication of the data stored in the databases. And if there is a transfer of a file, normally we install a data through a file as well. So normally the data may or may not be prone to security issues. So for that reason, we have to check it if there is any you can say issues being identified. So obviously you can use the hashlib library, which is normally contains many hash functions as well. So as I said, the hash function accepts sequence of bytes and returns 128-bit hash value, usually used to check data integrity but has security issues. Normally it has now been replaced by md5sum. So that is what we're going to use as well. md5sum, not md5sum. It is md5sum has now been replaced by md5. So what normally it is used for the integrity of the data when the file is being transferred over, when there's a transfer of the file, when there is the installation of any file and data So normally we want to check the integrity, we want to check the security issues, also the authentication. So all this is done through md5sum, and also it is an older name, which the older message digest 5 is the older name for the integrity, and right now it is being replaced by sh, and which is also the security hash algorithms, and you can have the security hash algorithms right now for the same name has now been replaced for message digest. So how are we going to use it? Let's see if it's possible to demonstrate through a small program. We're going to import SQLite. We're going to import the hash lib containing all the functions, and the md5 is also md5sum is also in this hash lib. Defining md5sum. Okay, we're giving it through some of any argument or any value, and returning hashlib.md5 with the hex digest. That means the bytes will be, first of all, the string would be converted over into byte, and byte would be converted over into hexadecimal, and obviously it would be a double in a double string format. So that would be what the hash function, it returns the 128-bit hash value, and usually used to check the data integrity and hash security. As I said, has now been replaced by md5sum 5, and you just have to convert the strings into the bytes, and bytes into hexadecimal, and the hexadecimal will yet again be converted into bytes, but obviously yet again into a double string format. So it's just about that. You have to convert it into hexadecimal format, and obviously it will be a double string format as well. You cannot say it other words. Normally I'll just explain you how the function is going to work. As I said, defining by md5sum t normally means that yes, you want to check it for the security, integrity, and authentication of data for while it is being transferred over, or it's been transferred, or it's been installed in a file, or the data has been installed through a file as well. So you want to define that function first of all, returning the value as a hashlib .md5, and obviously converting into hexadecimal format. Okay, that would be a double, you can say a double string format, and it would means that hexadecimal means the 16 characters, so that would be a double character format, and then that will be a 32 character format at the end of the day. So that will be the length of the md5sum. So yet again, connecting it with the initializing it and connecting it, establishing the connection, and with the RAM, with the memory, and or with the database, and creating a user-defined function. You're going to use it create underscore function, and going to use the 3 arguments: the name, the parameters, and name of the function. And it is this md5 is the name, the parameter is set as to be 1, and the md5sum is the name of the function. And you're going to obviously use it as a cursor, connect the cursor, and you're going to name it as the cursor as well. So cursor.execute, and you're going to execute that cursor by obviously using select md5, and b is normally is a standard whenever you want to have the hexadecimal format. So b foo mean b is also you can say foo is normally used as an as a meta syntactic variable, and normally it is being used to play for the for place holders, normally giving it when you're just programming a sample, or when you are actually programming or having a sample program, you can name it and that meta-syntactic, the other meta-syntactic variables are bar and or there are too many as well. So the name derive was through a commonly known name word in the in World War II. So that is why the name is being derived from that. But the purpose is just to, because it may help to change it without because normally the programmers do know that it is for the it was for the sample program, and the name is also can be changed as well depending upon the input. So it is quite handy for the developers who are more focused on the whole program, on the core logic, rather than the just the variable names as well. So you execute it, select MD5, okay, giving it as an exclamation mark, and B as an standard syntax. Obviously the functions, how the functions will md5sum. First the string would be converted over, to encode it, converts a string into bytes to be acceptable by hash function. Obviously it converts it and the string into bytes. As I said earlier, for the string will be converted into bytes to be acceptable by hash function. Digest returns the encoded data in the byte format. So digest would be now the string is now being encoded, it is now being converted into bytes, and the encoded data returns the encoded data in the byte format, okay. And hex digest is for returns the encoded data in hexadecimal format. That is why we can normally use it, the hex digest. It will returns the encoded data in a hexadecimal format. That would be a 32 character when we are dealing with md5sum. So you have to note that it will be a double string format, a double byte format, you can say. Because normally the string would be converted into a byte, and that byte would be encoded, and encoded data would be actually returns the byte format, and that byte format will be in the hexadecimal format, that is a double byte format. So it is all about that. You just have to print it out by actually returning it, giving it as a fetch 1. I'll just name it as this. When I'm going to check it, obviously if it's a 32 character result, that means I have md5sum hash function utilized. It would be a hash value, and if there is any breach of security, any transfer during transfer, or during the storage, or if there is any misuse of the data, so whenever there would be a case, it would show me another hash 32 character result when I'm going to run a program. So it will show that yes, during the transfer of a file there was some misuse, or there was some error actually notice during that transfer. So we can rectify that problem by having the different results. If the results are same, obviously if the new function, even with the new hash function was run, but the result was same, that means the data stored is intact. There is no such changes, errors, mistakes, or any misuse during transfer or installation of the files. So let's see what would be the result when I'm going to run it. It's all about the security, it's all about the integrity, and also the verification, authentication of the data through cryptographic hashes. So let's see what will be the result. So yeah, the result is in front of you, showing me 32 character result. So it means that it has the signatures, even if you have actually the digital signatures, if you have any other format that you want to actually check it against, to message authentication codes, as discussed earlier, and you want to discuss any manipulation detection and fingerprints, checksums, hash tables, password storage. There's plenty of security related checks. You want to actually want to confirm if they are confirmed for changes. Often usually on a regular basis. So that is why you have to actually use the MD5 hash in Python, so that it can be a security proof program without any errors, without any manipulation detection codes and or data signatures, so that it may help you to actually go through with the security checks fair and square. So I believe that is the whole purpose of using the cryptographic hashes. And just to confirm just to confirm or authenticate or verify the stored data is intact. There is no such harm. Even taken, you can say harm is taken in actually doing the transfer or the installation of the file. So all the data or the stored data in bytes is intact, so there is no such problem. So this is why we use this MD5, which is the short name, an older name for the security checks, and that is the message digest 5. It's now been replaced by security hashes. You can have any numbers whatsoever, and you can check with the library as well. And in Python, what are the new hashes that are in line, what are the new hashes coming for different purposes, so you can check those as well. So I'll end up my video. I hope that I have explained you about md5sum hashes, cryptographic hashes, the uses of cryptographic hashes, why we use md5sum and why we don't use the md5, and what is the basic syntax normally used to confirm or verify or authenticate the data. You can use it by standard, and you can create user-defined by creating a user-defined function with the 3 arguments, giving it and also running it by selecting that MD5, and also you wanna check it against a standard B full name, and you can name it any variable whatsoever, which is the meta-syntactic variable. And you can just run it and print it out print it out the once. So for the results, so for obviously this 32 character result. So this is the basic syntax normally used, as I said earlier, when you're going to run a program, especially when you are running and when you see that normally in the more different platforms like the social media platform, if there is any breach of the password, it is normally said that yes, someone has actually accessed this platform through some other device. That concept might be applied on MD5sum, might be applied, or the security hashes might be applied on that in that case. You can actually comment and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll openly accept it, and we're just going to improve on those lines as well. But right now it's all about the security related issues. If you are security proof in terms of manipulation of the data, in terms of transfer and retaining or intacting the stored data, so you are safe. You are in safe hands. Else you have to check the program, you have to run it again and again, so that there is no such problem in the program whatsoever. So I hope that a small concept might have improved your understanding towards programming, and also might have helped you to actually apply this small bit of the concept before each program. I hope to see you with another interesting video. Thank you very much. Take care and have a nice day.